What's going on, guys? Quick video update from the PCT. We are near beautiful Lake Tahoe, California. The town of South Lake Tahoe. I do not know if there is a North Lake Tahoe. I haven't looked. I just know it's near Lake Tahoe. Anyway, it's like day 76 or 77. We are gonna go into town, so I'll be able to post this video. So doing a quick update. I always plan on doing like bullet points or something for these videos so they're more structured, and I never do. Just do them on the fly, so you get what you get. But it's beautiful up here. I think since my last video we have went into Vermilion Valley Resort, known as VVR. It is very expensive. I would avoid it if you ever through hike. It had a great vibe, but it was overpriced. I understand they got to bring stuff in, but it was still crazy how much it was for things there. I won't go on about that because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing them. They got new owners and they're trying to figure out how to run the place, I think. So they got a lot of things to figure out, I'll say that. So we went there, we went to Mammoth Lakes. We got into Mammoth Lakes Memorial Day weekend, which was a huge mistake. We knew it was a huge mistake, but as opposed to camping at the lake outside of town, we went in on Sunday night. The trolley was still running. The guy that drove us was actually a hiker who was done the California section, so he was nice and he was laughing because he was like, "You picked the wrong weekend." It's like, we know. But anyway, we ended up staying in some guy's backyard that owns the coffee shop in Mammoth Lakes, California. I don't know his name because two of our friends were camping there. They asked him if we could stay. They said yes. I got there after dark, so I never got to meet the guy. Just slept in his backyard, but shout out to him. It's really cool when you get those little pieces of trail magic, because the Pacific Crest Trail does not really have trail magic. It is not like it was on the Appalachian Trail for me. I think I mentioned it in a past video that it's just a different vibe. There's like a lot of mountain clubs that take care of the trail on the AT. There's a lot of people that just want to help you, ex-through hikers. It is not that way out here. Everything's expensive because it is California. So you got that, you got inflation. A lot of places are in the middle of nowhere, so you just pay more. On top of that, the majority of times, like if you want to ride or anything, there's someone with their hand out to take your money. So yeah, just different vibes from the AT. People are really reasonable with prices and things. People out here aren't, and they're not really out here to help you. They're out here to run a business, which is fine. I just got a little spoiled on the AT because there's a lot of trail magic, a lot of people that will help you. So we went there, Mammoth Lakes. It was great. On the pricier side, like I said, this more just California and inflation. The last two nights, we double zeroed there, and the last two nights were reasonable. The reason we didn't get a hotel the first night is because prices were like 4 times as much because of all the tourists going into the Sierra. And I'm trying to think what's happened since then. The fishing's absolutely incredible. I found out they actually seed a lot of the lower streams, so it's not a surprise. By seed, I mean they stock it. They raise the trout and release them, but the high Sierra waterways, they're just packed with fish, man. And there's no one up there to catch them. No one really wants to go up there. No one's that crazy except for me. The problem with through hiking and fishing is you're always tired. You always got to get somewhere. We were carrying winter gear, spikes, carrying your bear can, 7 days of food. So you have to do a certain number of mileage to get to where you need to get to in order to get food. We were out of cell service for like 10 days. It was amazing. Everyone talked about the Sierra Nevada. It was just one of those situations where I was like, yeah, I'll see for myself. It's absolutely incredible. It's been amazing. South Lake Tahoe, I think, is considered the end. We got to Kennedy Meadows North. That place is great. As far as Kennedy Meadows South, VVR, Kennedy Meadows North, I would have to say was the only place that had reasonable prices. It was expensive because they do have to pull everything up there. They ship everything up there, but they had spots for hikers. It just felt like they were more there to help than the other places, which I understand. Again, people running businesses, but shout out to Kennedy Meadows North. That was great. Got to send my bear can home from there. It's amazing how light my pack feels without that thing. I think it's about 3.5 pounds. Got rid of my spikes, got rid of some clothing. We had one day of freezing rain, which was absolutely miserable. It's mostly been snow melt where our water has come from, so we haven't had much rain. And of course, on the day it did rain, it was freezing cold, so that was pretty miserable. We had like 7 or 8 river crossings that day. They were so bad that the people ahead of us had to stop and camp at one of the rivers because the river got so high. So we just got dumped on with the freezing rain, which this area needs it. They're really lacking in snowfall and rain. It affects their water tables. A lot of these lakes are sucked dry from Los Angeles. And when I say that, I literally mean LA is pumping all the water out. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else has happened. We've had several friends get off trail. I'm not going to name them in this video because I don't know if they want to be named, but some due to injury, some for personal reasons, some just weren't feeling it. So I mean, the same thing happened on my AT through hike. You kind of know people are going to get off, but it's always sad, and obviously it catches you off guard because you hope everyone finishes. You're rooting for everyone. You're out here all in it together. You know, you're all hiking the same mountains. You build relationships a lot quicker out here because everything's very raw. People are just very much themselves, very exposed, and they haven't had a shower for a week. And you're around them for hours a day doing stuff that's just absolutely physically demanding all day. And the trail itself has been, the Sierra Nevada is a beautiful range. I just want to reiterate that, but the trail maintenance out here is kind of a joke. Even through the parks, you get up to these peaks and they don't blaze the trails out here, so there's no clear way to know where you're going. A lot of time we have Gut Hook, which is, if you're not familiar, and it's known as Far Out now, it's an app that tracks your location so you can follow the trail. But I think the idea, at least I was told, the idea behind not blazing the trail is to leave it more natural, which, look, it's beautiful. I get it. I get wanting to leave things more natural, but assuming what I was told is true, it makes no sense because you get to the top of these peaks that are covered in snow just because it's the weather. You know, it's June here and there's still snow a lot of places. But anyway, the point being that no one knows where to go. So what you end up with is like 5 to 10 spider trails where people are just following footprints, and usually the footprints do not go to the right place. So you're ending up with all these side trails that damage everything, and that's counterintuitive to leaving everything natural. That's just my opinion. I have no idea why this isn't blazed. It's probably more a manpower thing. I really don't know why, but PCTA really hope they get it together and blaze this trail at one point or another, because as far as following it's an absolute nightmare, and it should not be, because everything's pretty graded. You can tell I'm huffing and puffing because yeah, there's some climbs, but everything's graded for pack animals, but you don't know where you're going half the time, especially in this area. But anyway, we are about to pass into Northern California, known as NorCal, on the trail. It's the next major section. a little sad to be leaving this Sierra Nevada. It was a really special town, to be honest. Like, there is a lot of snow. There are a lot of dangerous sections. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't think it's as dangerous as a lot of people put on, but there are some parts that were very sketchy. They claim the middle passes are the most dangerous. I don't really think so. I actually think that stuff like this, just random patches of snow, those were the sketchiest parts for me. There was like Mather Pass is famous for being dangerous. I said it was famous for being named after Eminem. Obviously it's not. But anyway, my point being, it wasn't that bad. The worst parts were the last passes we've been on that no one talks about. There's no comments on Gut Hook, which is where you get a lot of your info. People haven't talked about them a lot, but we went through like a 45-degree incline where you couldn't see the trail, and all you had to step in was people's old footprints. The problem with that is it's almost mid-June, the snow is melting quickly, and when you step on those footprint shelves, they'll collapse. And I want to say it was Benson Pass, I cannot remember, but it goes above a huge river. You're stepping on these snow footprint shelves. I don't know what they're called, but it's literally a ledge where you put your foot. That's how you're walking across this sloped ice/snow that's melting and collapsing. And the snow goes down about 10 feet, and then you just fall. If you fall there, you fall down into a huge river, which was bigger because of the snow and rain melt. Snow melt and rain, sorry. But yeah, that was the sketchiest part to me. It's these things no one talks about. All these things people call dangerous. At least in my experience, at least from what I did, was not that bad. I know this is a lot of kind of aimless talking here. It's not near as bad as people think, you know. You're out here, you're with groups most of the time. People really kind of clumped up in the Sierra Nevada. They do that. You need to get on the pass at like 6 a.m. So you need to be up at like 4 a.m. camping under these freezing cold passes. So it's more a matter of just doing it at the right time when the snow's hard, being safe, being aware of what you're doing, not being careless. I think that I talk to a lot of people and they're like under this weird impression that I'm like out here in a fucking loincloth or something, eating bugs and catching fish. And no, I'm not making that up. I have talked to people that thought that's what I did on my Appalachian trail through hike. And I've talked to some people out here. They're funny because like they want to take pictures with you. You kind of feel like a zoo animal. You feel like an exhibit. It's interesting that they find it so fascinating. But believe it or not, we do eat real food. We eat noodles just like everyone else. Also worms. I'm kidding. We don't eat worms. But people do think that. People make a lot of assumptions about things out here, and I'm not like trying to sell it short that some of it's not dangerous. The day it was raining, all those river crossings, it was super sketchy because all the logs are worn down and they were slick and wet. So, I mean, it doesn't get dangerous out here, don't get me wrong. But anyway, I feel like at this point, I don't have much else to update. I'll try to make another video sometime after Tahoe. I really haven't looked forward to the next leg of the map, but I am excited to load that. There's 5 sections, and I only have 3 left after I leave Lake Tahoe. So excited to get there. It's supposed to be a good town. It's apparently more hiker friendly than a lot of these other towns have been. Feeling a little weird getting near civilization. I heard a car horn today for the first time since March. I went about 2 weeks without hearing, well, I take that back. I heard a car engine at VVR But other than that, I hadn't heard a car engine. I heard one plane and one helicopter in the same 10-day span that I didn't have a shower cell phone service. So it was really off the grid, but I really enjoyed it. The AT was nice because you have a lot of stops. You get to go through a lot of towns. But it was nice to get such a long stint out here. I don't think we ever had that long of a stint on the Appalachian Trail. So the seclusion's been nice. I am alive. We'll post this video when I get into Tahoe. I will make another video at some point, but I'm gonna get off here because if I don't, I'm gonna bust my ass on this snow, because for some reason, Central California mountains are still covered in snow in mid-June. So that's been fun. I fall a lot. I'd like to pretend like I don't, but I fall and I get stuck in the snow all the time. And if you're wondering if it's worth it, yes it is. Anyway, peace out till next time.